we're live for another episode of What the Fuck. Welcome, new people. I am your hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist. I am your messenger of God. I am his first child. Okay, that's what I am to you. Did you get that? That's what I am to you. Okay? There's something that needs to be said by this. I am your messenger of God, the first child of God. I am the LILITH reincarnated. I am the dark goddess. I am the goddess. But I am reliving Lilith's life. Why? Because God wants me to have sex and a baby. It's so fucking basic. And so in order to understand that right there sums up everything you're going to hear in all of these videos, is how I fight God about doing what, loving men. Welcome to the journey. Love a woman. Hey, bro. Good call. All right, in order to keep up with me, you had to catch my chopped and screwed up video from earlier. That shit got screwed up, bro. Did you see? Ugh. Fucking shit. I just looked down and it said it was turned off. How long was it turned off? I don't know because I don't stare at the screen. 25 minutes? I gave you more than an hour, bro. I promise. And all you remember is 20... Just kidding. Projections. Alright, so you would have had to catch my last video, what I posted on my community page, and my shorts. What we posted in the shorts. I think it was funny this time. I think we kept it chill this time. I can't remember, though. I don't use the brain that much. It's just there for, functioning purposes. I am what science calls a transcendental being. What does that mean? Oh, look it up. Google. I'm going to teach you all kinds of things. I teach you, and then it makes you have to learn more. I feed you, as I always did, knowledge and wisdom of the gods, but you need to make that shit make sense. Because you just can't believe it. Believe. Oh, you see my new feather? I posted that too. That is a northern flicker, which is basically it's a woodpecker. They're very cool as far as spirituality goes. And the biggest thing is about recognizing patterns. And I told you that's all I do around here. So if you notice in my freaking community page, they have shoved me back into Persephone to deal with Hades again. It's you again. What did I notice? He's balding. He's got codependence issues. He's 34 and with no fucking life plan. Well, sounds like the type of guy I'd fall in love with. Do you have mommy issues and man tits? I really need to break these patterns. Sounds like a great one, right? What's your type of bullshit that you put out all the good shit, but do you realize, did you make a fucking list of all the bad shit you always get every time you get out there? Marshall, sounds like a great song. We gotta go ahead, pull out the pen and paper. Anyways, what is that? Alright, so I have learned what I've learned that I didn't learn, and I need to learn this life. Lilith was... I am. A whole ass child, the first version of my life. I went back to my first version of life with all of my lives to make it better, to make my first life better, and all my other lives make sense. Right? So I lived all these lives. My last life was the Morgan. I was Kali, I was Hecate, I was Lilith, I was in my Kuan-Yin, which is exactly what the flicker said, is you gotta be all loving and shit. I love... Okay, so that's the whole thing, right? Welcome to the Divine Feminine Awakening, where your heart wakes up and it wants to love, but in its pursuit of love, which is joy and the things that make you happy, you have to go against your mind and go against all of these hard things that have happened to you that stand in your way. For whatever reason, you can't go forward because all the past is haunting you. So you have to take it off. And that's all, it kind of is. But in doing that, you're literally changing your fucking DNA. Oh, hey, hold on. Let me put on the comments. Guys, I gotta be honest. I open this all the motherfucking time, and then yet it'll say there was some comments that I didn't see. But again, I tell you, I don't look at the phone too often. I just be looking into space. When you take off your thoughts and your feelings, you take off your burdens, dude. You take off the weight of what this life has done to you, and you go back to your true essence of, who you were before life happened to you, which is your innocence, is what happens. So as I go through all of these levels of my life, I realize what that life, I have to remember what that life meant and what it taught me. So right now, alone, knowing that I'm dealing with Hades, we go back to submission. This is a life of submission. So if I'm dealing with Hades, that means I'm in my Persephone, and that means I need to be submissive. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. So that's how it is where you start in light instead of darkness, where you fight the darkness and walk in the light, which is being a better person, healing your unhealed shit and shit. So there's that. I wanted to take you through a couple of different things. I wanted to take you through some astral travel of time. And then ultimately, Carl Jung has been, you know what I mean, talking to me. Something I said this morning, I said I had weird dreams. I couldn't wake up and I was dreaming about tornadoes and shit like that. When I took another nap in the afternoon, and when I woke up, Morgan sent me a message. She's like, dude, did you see the wind? I was like, no, I was asleep. She's like, it was fucking crazy. I was like, maybe that was the dream I had. I had a crazy dream about, like, windstorms and tornadoes. I don't know what happened when I was asleep. Did you see that? But anyway, so I just want to validate some things that, you know, everything I get is information's, you know, being transmuted, and I don't ever know exactly what the fuck they're talking about until after it happens. And that's the video I did, is connecting the dots. You don't know until after you have the big show. So there's that, astral traveling through time. I want to talk about that, the Matrix, right? Your guys' fake-ass reality that you live here. How often do you see something like, no, that is literally unreal? Like, you're like, no way do people do that. No way did I just see that. No way. Like, it's literally blows your mind, the thing you saw when you were outside. How often does that happen for you? That alone right there should tell you that this world is unreal. That we're not living in a real reality. I am from many times. I have been here in this three-dimensional planet Earth many times. Now I'm brought back in the fucking in the cyber world. And the shit y'all do, it's like, this is not real. Humans don't do this. How did you become... So I want to explain that to you right now. Starting off. Every time you think your world is real, I want you to remember this question I just asked you. How many unreal things did I see today? Whether it be on your phone in real life. You see it. They catch it on camera. You have to believe it. Like, I did not believe people did such things. You can deem it as good or bad, but it's just unreal. They're glitches in the Matrix. It's like somebody's writing this goofy story. Going back to, I was telling Diana about the dude that squatted to pee. Men don't squat. Men don't do this. Have you ever seen someone do some shit like that? I can come to you once a day with a story of you'll never believe this. Stuff like the baby falling out of the fucking window. That shit don't happen. It don't just, like shit like that. Like, this isn't real. The shit that goes on is unreal. I want you to understand that, dude. We're living in a false reality of people are creating their own realities, dude. Their own realities. I'm seeing Jude. I had a very interesting conversation with Jude today. Jude told me their story. Listen to how God is there no matter what. Listen to Jude's story, bro. This is unreal. And I appreciated it, and I kept asking questions. I was like, please forgive my ignorance, and if I say anything offensive because I'm ignorant. I was like, but I have a they upstairs. Right? So, this is Jude's story. Jude is holding their brand new baby boy, and they have the cutest 2-year-old boy I ever did see. So, Jude's telling me that they've been discriminated on here. And I'm like, what do you mean? Said that their son ran out of the room, and they were wearing their binder. And when they went outside with their binder on, they got written up for being in a bra. The very second she says this, I look over and Dory is outside in a breastfeeding bra that I donated. I know the bra because I donated it there, right? And she's literally standing outside smoking in a fucking breastfeeding bra. So I'm listening to this story. I'm like, whoa. For those that don't know what a binder is me and my daughter got into a fight with on her birthday. She was trying to buy one. It binds your chest so you don't have a chest. They call it a binder. You look back in time, I'm like, dude, we wore those forever. They just put them underneath the boobs. But in essence, so I'm learn. They tell me that this, I'm like, huh? It's like, yeah, I'm trans. I'm trans. Huh? And I was like, so does that mean your man is gay? Because you're becoming a man? Because that's what they said. They said that they were taking almost 3 years of, there's a word for it, of what they were doing to make that transition. And then they were in a car accident, and they got off of the hormones, and just that quick. And that's what they teach you about fucking birth control. You want to get pregnant, just take it off, and you're going to be twice as fucking fertile as ever. So the second you take it off, you're going to blow. So, anyways, they were hanging out with their, gay friend, and they had a situation, and they made a baby. And so there's all of this going on, and I'm asking a whole lot of questions. So I was like, so does your man identify as gay because you were going to become, a male? He says he's bisexual. But if you ask him, if you say to him, where's your girl? He's going to say, my man. I was like, I would have never caught that. I would have just thought that he meant you would run the house. And I was like, well, can I ask some more questions? I was like, this decision that you made wasn't based on sexual preference? It's like, no, I never identified with my body. I was trying to get my body right. It's not that. I was like, and I started to ask questions about the sexual preference going forward. I was like, is it a preference because you become, gay? Is it a preference of where and how you'll, penetration? Yeah. I'm like, is that, so doesn't make, I was like, yeah, I was like, pretty much, I very tiptoed, and I'm asking very detailed questions. And so what I learned in this unbelievable story is it was never, and that's what my daughter is. I was like, one day, she's in her femininity, and she wants it to be seen. So she'll put on high heels and a dress and makeup and look like the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. She goes from, that to that. But then on other days, she wants to be in her masculine energy. So she dresses up as what you would say is a tomboy, not a straight boy, because she's still pretty. And that's where the kids are. Is she being a boy today, or she's being a girl today? And it's not about sexual preference. It's about identification. That I need to wear this suit for you to know who you're dealing with. When they, which is Jude, told me this, I understood it. Because I work through a masculine energy. But you look at me as this helpless, vulnerable, weak, ignorant bitch. And it's offensive to me. You see the skin I wear as that I'm nothing more than a useless girl. And that's what happens with Morgan, too. We were having this. That's what happens. We are women. And we do, okay, well, Jude doesn't. But we do like men. But we identify more in our masculine energy, which is nothing more than a god energy, than a goddess. We don't want to be, we're not walking around as goddesses. We're whole gods that look like goddesses, which you call a boss bitch. So I'm understanding this so fully. It's not literally about their sexual preference. But then Jude explains, just like all of us, sexual trauma comes into play. To where, people like me, typically after the abuse, is you no longer want that. You no longer want a dick, dude. Because of everything all the pain that it has caused you, you just don't. And that's where it's like my rehabilitation, I didn't ever want to give up that part of sexuality. I just gave up all sexuality rather than opening up to another possibility. And that's where most women go. Because there is another possibility of love. And it becomes more affectionate because if you think about it, the hardening of a woman, it pushes her into her masculinity. She's all vulnerable and feminine in the beginning, but life pushes her into her masculine energy. So naturally, like myself, we're attracted to feminine type men that are very vulnerable and open. The opposite of what we are. And that's where you need to understand in these tarot reads and the roles of this. It's like energy is fluid. And that my daughter can show you. One day, she's totally feminine. One day she's totally masculine. She has a long-standing boyfriend, but none of this has to do with sexual, and no, she hasn't had a sexual preference yet because she hasn't tried either or yet. It has to do with her own personal identification, not sexual orientation. And this is an awesome time to learn that. And, so I also want to go back to this. There's this thing they say out there in the world. They say it's a woke community. And they always use that word having to do with the LGBTQ, which are people identifying their bodies and sexualities, their love languages is what I would actually say this is. And they use it as that. But what it is they're trying to, why do these, for example, why does Jude have to ruin her body to, for you to respect her as a man? Why does she have to become a man for you to respect her like a man? And that's what happens to us women. We have to become so manly for men to understand. And I'm I'm a rough and tough manly ass bitch that scares the shit out of men because of my masculinity. It's not my femininity. It's not all that she's a crazy, bitch and she's all emotional. I mean, you see I handle that quite well. It's the fact shit. So why does it, So then it's like a sensitive man. Why does he have to dress up? Why does he have to put on a wig and tight shorts for you to understand that he's a feminine energy? And why does that have to fear? Why do you have to fear that? And it's like, did God make a mistake? Is he putting the wrong energies in the wrong bodies? No, dude, he did this on purpose. For compassion and understanding, to stop judging books. But what it is, and that's what it is, it's like they have to change the cover of the book, never even knowing what the pages are. It's very intriguing. It's very intriguing. So you look at Bruce Jenner is what I'm looking at right now. He was a man, oh man, oh man, oh man. But he was also a sensitive, loving, caring man. And being around these women that had the ability to make women look like women, and he became open to what he identified more as. He realized he was more of a feminine energy. Now, his attraction to men, that was the hidden shadow. But then you go down to bisexual. We never had a choice to know what our sexual preference was. We didn't have a choice. That's what's happening right now, is they're taking the choice. They're making a choice that we didn't have. And that's why there's all this hidden homosexuality. When we were growing up in the 90s, bro, and that's where the F-bomb comes from, they hid it. They hid their sexuality. Gay people had to hide it because when they came out, they were literally, the hate crimes. They were beat up and they were, raped or whatever, dude. Terrible things happened to them. So they hid it. So we didn't have a way to know it. We were just afraid of something that we didn't know. The more it comes out, the more some of us are no longer afraid. Now you go back to biblical teachings. I too, myself, if you would have caught me about 5 years ago, I got into fights. No, I'd say about 10 years ago. I had gotten into fights with people about if my kids came out like that, I'd have to disown them. Based on my religious studies. Yes. And that's where it is it's tradition passed down. Now you look at the fact that I have this Bible here and I know God personally, and that was a lie. But it's traditionally passed down through scripture that they are told that you are evil. And I tell you now, that's not the way of God. But it's still that way, and they don't understand. The more voices and freedom this has, the more understanding and compassion we have for people as an individual. We don't look at them as a sex, but as an individual. We don't judge, categorize them like that. Now here's the miracle. Listen to the miracle. This is a miracle, bro. Jude's about to become a man, which means
they're going to get top surgery?
They are not going to be able to make babies unless they do, what I've seen done, another unreal thing, taking destiny, the turkey baster. I know 2 lesbian women that use the turkey baster and they have children. Which lesbians? The one that slept with my ex-husband. She became lesbian after him. Funny thing. So yeah, and whoever donated sperm, and they did it themselves and made a baby. But otherwise, Jude was a couple years into giving that opportunity up, where Jude was not going to carry babies. She was giving up that destiny. And God changed it. There was a person that she felt, a person in the whole wide world from the opposite sex that she felt comfortable enough to explore. And they made a baby. This person is gay. It would have been impossible for him to have a baby too. This is extremely miracle, right? And they didn't just... This baby is unbelievably beautiful, bro. I swear, their Gerber couldn't buy this baby. It's so beautiful. And they had another one, right? So I'm sitting there looking at this story. It's like God still... And so what happens is, this is what's really cool. Jude, he loves Jude, no matter what. He loved Jude because Jude... Because Jude was going to be a man if Jude was a girl or a man or whatever. Here's the amazing thing. He's going to be a good father, not because of what Jude does for him. Jude doesn't have to be a good or be a good woman and be satisfying to him and be pleasing to him or be anything to him to keep him around, to keep him a good father. Their friendship alone keeps this going. These two children, when they grow up, people will ask, what's up with your parents? These kids will tell other kids, and these other kids will learn things that we didn't learn. That whole conversation that I just had with you, I know was, for most of you that are as ignorant as me, was like, whoa. I know, we're children and we don't know, but there are people out there that are trying, there's nothing wrong with the expression of the sex. None of that really happened other than the fact that there's babies involved. They had to have had sex. And that's what I said. Well, going further, and we didn't really stop. I think I got interrupted on that conversation. It's like, will it just be butt sex? And that would have been my next question. Do you get orgasms off of that? Does that make you feel satisfied? Will you get to a place where you put on a strap on? And when you do that, does that make you satisfied? Where does this go? In the satisfying. Okay, whoa. She'll tell us everything we don't want to know. I don't want too many details. I don't ask too many questions because
why are you asking those questions?
I ask somebody that won't give me too much. You give me too much and too fast. I tell you that all the time. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. She always wants to tell me everything she knows. Like, please don't tell me I'm not ready. So anyways, I wanted to teach you that because I learned that, and that needs to be taught. We need to have understanding for the person that is fighting for their identity in the body. They're not fighting for gay sex. But in the essence of whatever you think gay sex is, it's a pleasure thing. This is going to get a little uncomfortable, but God gave me a vibrator, and I don't like how it feels when it goes in. So I don't use it. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't know if when I come to that moment, I'm not going to like how this feels. Because my trauma is based on the fact of that. It doesn't mean I still don't desire men and I think about it. But it comes down to that. What happens about the actual feeling? Do I enjoy this feeling? Or is that the reason I black out every time? Because I don't enjoy this. And then there's the opposite. Well, maybe I'm into butt sex. That might get someone excited. There's options, bro. That's what I'm saying, is people try to find what works for them. And then we go back to all these hidden P. Diddy diddlers. These men found that having sex in the butt with other men gets them more excited than, fucking their women. And, I hate to say it, but I got caught up in some shit like that with my ex-husband and his bisexual, or I don't know what he is. And that's what Jude said, Milia. She said, they said they're pansexual. Explain that, please.
I used to be pansexual. You like all genders, no matter what it is. It's more
the person, as what Jude told me. It says you become attracted to the person, not the actual sex. And I was like, I can understand that as a demisexual. So me, myself, and I only find you attractive when I've met you on an emotional level. I don't see you attractive until we've made an emotional connection. Now I start to find you sexy. And it grows from there. So you can see how I have a pattern of Having sex with my friends, friends with benefits, turns into something. And this is where you go back to Jude and, their friend. So it tends to be, you know what I mean? The intimacy, we take the intimacy, the comfortability to another intimate level is what that looks like. So they were telling me that. And it's just that we're learning. We're a little old to be learning this, but we need to learn it because that's how they're living their lifestyles. The younger generation, and we can't just be like deeming them evil for trying to find who they are when we were told what we were supposed to be, and that's what's wrong with us. All of my men that I'm dealing with, all 2,300 of you guys, were told how to be a man, what a man looks like. We were told what to do and how to be and how to live and what should make us happy. We were programmed from the beginning. They break the fucking programming. They go against the norms. They're going to write their own, literally their own code. And that's the Matrix. We were literally programmed. You know what I mean? A boy doesn't cry. A boy doesn't do this. A girl doesn't do that. This is what makes a good girl. And if you're not a great girl, going back to the 50s. Marilyn, I talked about Pamela Lee last night. How beautiful it was to grow, you know what I mean? To age. And I talked about Sophia Loren. Pamela didn't, fucking Marilyn didn't get to grow. She didn't get to have that happy family. She didn't get to grow old with her grandchildren. She didn't get to sit there and watch her movies. She didn't get to sit there and watch time be a wrinkle. She still is a wrinkle of time. But she didn't get to see time wrinkle on her face. I know you guys are scared of that, and I want to point that out. I was messing with Wolfman. I was like, welcome to old age. You're balding. How long has that been going on? Joe Bart's been balding. He's only 23. It's just part of life. You don't want to accept time. I'm just thinking about it. It's like it's a beautiful thing to live an old life. So I wanted to teach you some things about time. You know what I mean? And our time is always the said, but I've been through all time. This is the end of time. And you can see it ending. The paradigms, the way of life is ending. We used to live a certain way, and what we were held on to is falling apart. And it's devastating to people, but it's not the end. It's the beginning of something new. And the crazy part is it's the younger generation, these earth angels that have incarnated here, that are going to guide the scared adults, and the children going forward are just going to be just as brave. They're brave hearts, bro. They're brave hearts. It doesn't matter what homes they're raised in. The world that they've come into, they've come to change. They challenge it. They're full rebellion, bro. They challenge it to make it better. And in their challenging our world, they've come to destroy it. The way things were that never worked. They want to destroy racism, which should have already been there. They want to destroy fear. They want to destroy, that's the whole plan. What's the future? That, bro. We break it all down and start back with love. Not so much hatred and anger and fucking what we pulled today, judgment. Today I pulled the judgment card, and I went on for so long. After the judgment card came out, the Hermit, I pulled the Notoria card. I went in and I pulled all kinds of cards, but it was all about the judgment. Stop casting judgment. And I told you how I'd gone mad because people are always gossiping and talking about people and judging their lives. And, you know what I mean? Let's judge them. It's his judgment. And that's what this is. It's happening underneath you. Love is being grown. Unbelievable amounts of love. And I want to point something out. God's destroying the lands, as they said that he would. He has to break these fucking structures down. He's doing it. People are losing their houses, their jobs, their cars, their fucking farms. They're losing their fucking animals. They're losing, even down to our president, who's taking away the unbelievable amount of jobs and things from people. They're losing their ways of life. We're not dying, but it's a total ego death. It hurts the very being of our soul to lose everything that we've known. Only so we can learn to know another way. And you know what's interesting? is we go back to the primordial knowing of our ancestors. I don't care what your bloodline is. You're not from this land. And those that were are doing the same thing. Your families came here with nothing more than the clothes on their back and a dream to live on the land. You're going to learn the same way. You get to repeat what they did. You get to create like they did. You're the new creators. And you get to change time based on what we saw. What did our ancestors do that we know we're not going to do that next time? We learn from their mistakes. But in essence, all of it has to break down. So you take Trump. He's destroying all of our government. Piece by piece, he's taking all of them, he's shredding them, he's breaking down, burning flags, burning fucking papers, he's putting it through the shredder, he's rewriting laws, all this shit. Okay, he's showing us the power that a president does have, so that the next president fully understands their power to change. That every president after this will know how powerful a president. Why didn't a president come in before and execute these chief commandment powers? He's using them for all the wrong things, or for what he believes in his reality is to make America greater again. Well, yeah, okay. Tell that to the American people. They're not feeling so great out here. But it is part of the shift. Now, as much as you guys want to sit here and say, cry at the burning American flag, you're so ignorant to the fact that in other countries this has been going on for years now. I think there's still a Russian war happening that started in like 2020. You know what I mean? Why do we have the Venezuelans? Because why did people come to America? Because their governments and their lands failed them. They came here for that. So it's happening not just here, but it's already happened everywhere else before here. It's our time to shine. And just like the other countries that had to rebuild their fucking governments and their religions and their people, and take back, their resources, we too will have to do the same. Are we old enough to stand this fight? It happens for the next 35 years. No, it lands on our children. So we build them with the strength to do this. They're going to have to carry this fucking weight of the fallen future, or of the fallen past. And so, like I said, I wanted to take you through time. We will go back. What's happening is we're not going forward. We'll end up going back in time to rebuild time. A better time. So I just wanted to teach you all that. That all happened today. After that, I got lost in time. Oh, yeah. Carl Jung. He's always there. You see how every time I pull out the book, it turns yellow? Why? I don't know. Does it do it this way? Maybe it's the front end of the book that makes it. It's very interesting. Pulls out the yellow ray. All right. Carl Jung was a Swiss psychoanalyst. What is a psychoanalyst? Somebody that just studies the brain like crazy. He wants to, like me, I want to know what the fuck you're thinking, bro. What the fuck was you thinking? That's where it is. A psychoanalyst is somebody that tries to analyze a person's mind. He was the best. He went through his own mind. Now, in all his spirituality, they referred to him in taking this process through the mind. I did it. Just like him, and I do it regularly. It's called the Magnum Opus, the 12 Gates of the Magnum Opus in spirituality. It's an alchemical principle, and these are the rules of how you do it. And he called it, it's literally traveling through time, of course, but you're traveling through your mind. And so he wrote many books about it way back in, his time. And now that's just how it is they did all the work for us, and we just, they wrote the manuals for us to do it. I didn't have his teachings. I started with nothing more than working through my own thoughts and feelings, all by myself. And I started doing it spiritually, and that's where all this happened. That's all that happened. I could show you. I've been documenting this for 3 years. I'm going to drop the coolest documentary you ever saw. But everybody wants to know, how did you wake up? How did you find out who you were? How did you get back to God? How do you do what you do? It all starts with what I do every single day. I work through the thoughts and the feelings until there are no thoughts and I feel content. They say joy, there's a difference in joy, but it's just content, being at peace. That's that yogini stage where you're just chilling. You can look at me, I'll just be chilling. Like most of the time, until I have a thought. And I explained this 2 days ago. What is a thought? It's an opinion. It's an impression from things that you've seen and heard. You see things and you hear things. And those words and actions create a thought in your head. An impression. You have an impression of what you've seen. So it becomes a thought. So as they are telling me something, I'm thinking. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to put this together in my head. Those are thoughts. That's not you. Those are just thoughts. It's a programming system inside of your head. Beyond those thoughts that you think all day is you. You are behind the thoughts. You are not the thoughts. The thoughts are just impressions of the information that you're taking in. There is the conscious, which is your thoughts, your brain, and then there's the unconscious. I am an unconscious being, which means I'm a soul, having a human experience, which means I sit as a soul inside monitoring the conscious, which is the brain. I've worked through the workings of the brain. Now, every time the brain sees something, I work through that thought. I see how I came to this conclusion in my head. Now I can rewire that conclusion, and that's where you change the narrative. So I can see some shit and be like, damn, you're a whole fucking pedophile. You are dangerous. Somebody should lock you up. I don't know why they fucking even let you walk the streets. That's just a thought. Those are just thoughts based on what I know about this person. I can change those thoughts about this person, because obviously that's hella negative to think about a person like that just because of their actions. Do you see? So I started doing shit like that. Why? Well, when I woke up, I had a personality disorder or altered egos. And I would watch this combative thing happen in my head where I would argue with myself. I had argumentative thoughts.
Oh, alters?
Yeah. So I would sit there and just listen to my thoughts. Or I would say something to somebody real quick. And I'd sit there and be like, why did I say that? And I'd work through my thoughts and see why I said that. I question everything. And doing that is what this guy's work was all about. It spent him 6 years to get through his brain. I shut the altered egos off within like a couple of months, but I was also using a stimulant given to me, a diet stimulant that I was on a diet pill. So I was using phetamine and I was microdosing psilocybin. So I want to say that there was some kind of chemical engineering that happened that helped it. But when I shut off the egos, they were quiet. There was nothing. There was not one thought in my head after that. The thoughts came during experiences. I had no memories. I already had no memories. They were locked in the conscious of each of these personalities. I could only access them. I could ask, So when I met Bobby, I had all these feelings of love. And I kept trying to get in my brain to find out memories. Why do I love him? And I had combative thoughts that says, no, you don't love him. No, this. And there was, they were arguing. But nobody would show me who this guy is and where these feelings were coming from. So that's where I had to work through them. And there was other things. Okay, you're a little too loud. So when I woke up, I tried to remember my ex-husbands. I can't remember them. Where are the thoughts? Where are the memories? It just kept going. I spent a lot of time trying to find these thoughts and these memories, but they're locked in the mind somewhere. They do surface. That's what this whole awakening is. Usually on a Friday. We call it a shadow. I go outside in the world, and that world will trigger a memory of something that's hidden in my conscious, which we call these repressed memories and repressed emotions. I don't know it yet. I go outside and something bothers the shit out of me. And you'll hear all my stories. So, you know what I mean? Like, everything bothers me. And what it is it's meant to make me remember. So God puts me in difficult places for people to make me remember. For example, why the fuck am I looking at fucking Wolfman right now? He wants me to remember something. So I know better. All right, you want me to see him. I'm going to see him. What am I looking for? Why did you bring me to him? You brought me to him so I could see a part of me. Go in my shorts and you'll see this. You didn't call me, Wolfman. My spirit did. My spirit that lies within you that's hurting. You're reflecting right now in your current lifestyle, you are reflecting a hurt in your lifestyle that goes back to mine. And we can start with the codependency. It's already there. We just have to find the pattern. I can look at your life and use that as a tool to look back through my life and find out where I did this too. Welcome. And that's where the flicker comes from. The flickers of light. It sucks. I don't be wanting to go outside because what I'm going to remember is a terrible memory. It's a trauma that's hidden in my head. That's all that usually comes out of that motherfucker. So typically I'm all peaceful, no thoughts. I'm just getting information. Because I'm not part of there's nothing going on in the brain, the soul can travel. And that's where you hear about the astral traveling. How I get all these downloads, how I can see all these visions and I can do all this. The soul's not being, the brain, I don't need to do anything with the brain. So I can do whatever I want all day. The brain's not bothering me. If your thoughts aren't plaguing you, you can enjoy yourself. You can literally just sit there in La La Land. And that's what I tell you. I just want to sit outside in La La Land. And during that, I can see all of my memories from all my past lives. I can travel through time and space and be with the gods. I can be anywhere and everywhere when my brain isn't plaguing me with concerns of today or yesterday or tomorrow. How do you live like that? I told you, I don't think. I don't think about tomorrow. I know, I keep saying it, and I have to do it. And we're going to do it. And I'll say it for days. We've got to go do this. And then finally, we'll go do this. But in the essence, I don't just sit around all day thinking. I don't think about shit. And if I do, I'll be like, guys, you got to listen to this shit that popped in my head. Seriously? Yeah, because I just don't. It doesn't mean that I have brain damage or that I'm mentally, ill, that the brain doesn't work. It doesn't plague me. There's thoughts, I've had a whole life of experiences, but none of them are really important. They don't just sit there rotating in my head. I don't sit here, driving myself crazy thinking about what about tomorrow. And this is a lot of training, of course. I used to be that. And that's where you'll watch this whole documentary is where I go through the brain, the whole conscious. At first, I'm just doing it, trying to understand myself, bro. I don't know who I am. I don't know where my family is. I don't have any memories. I don't know who this guy is that I'm totally attracted to. I don't know nothing. I just know how to go forward. I don't know what happened from the past. And so I can't go forward all of a sudden because I'm really focused on where the fuck happened to the past. I'm literally about to go forward with a music career. Everything is good in my life, bro. It is great. I've just invested. I'm about to live my dream. I'm doing good at work. All the bills are paid. Got my 2 cars. We're going on vacations. We're doing whatever the fuck we want. And then all the fucking sudden, and that's where it happened. When did it happen? A week after the fucking Labor Day. So it's about to be the anniversary. And I consider that probably more my birthday than my actual birthday. Because it's when I woke up. And all of a sudden I woke up and nothing else mattered but figuring myself out. And doing that, I try to, as I would come out of my thoughts, I'd try to take a grasp on reality. And God, my Holy Spirits, my, guides would tell me, God told me, let me take care of you and you take care of this. And realistically, if I was going to have any life, I needed to take care of this because the personality, the egos, the altered egos were running my life up until that point. I didn't exist. It just would shift. A part of my brain would shift to another reality, and that one would play out, who knows how long. When I was waking up, it was happening. I'd be in a situation. The scariest one is what happened on Mother Cabrini's shrine. When I saw the matrix break, I sat there in an out-of-body experience. I recorded the fucking video of what I experienced. I'm sitting there, and I'm having a conversation with Gabriel. I know now it's Gabriel. And then I sit back and I pull myself out of my body and I see what happens. And I see this, I hear myself scream inside of my head. I hear it inside of my head. It's not real. And I see this version of this. I'm on the top of the mountain and I see the mountain completely crumble. Me and the car fall completely into it. And then I wake up and I'm at home. And that's what I said. Somehow I drove myself home from there. There's all of these gaps. I've been able to put them together, but it's like, I don't know how I got from here to there. And that's how these memories are. I don't know how I got there. But there's a part of me that's letting me know what happened there. The other parts won't tell me how I got there. And they won't tell me what happened after. I can only get that moment. The most important moment is what matters. It's the most important moment that matters. And so that's how I work through this, and that's how I teach you guys, is how to deal with these repressed memories, because this is what I have to do. They come from fucking nowhere, and they hurt, and they're devastating, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. I sound real about it right now, but they happen all the time. And that's what I'm here as your spiritual teacher and healer. I teach you how to work through your thoughts and take them off. By nothing more than you watching me do mine. I'm your lab rat, bro. I am all of these teachings in real life, bro. I'm a walking version of these teachings to teach you how to do it. But this is how you do it. How do you get back? How do you take off the flesh and be in the spirit? I'm telling you that. And that's all I do. And that's why it's like, I do it with just me, but everybody else. If you come down and sit with me and you tell me something, I'm analyzing your thoughts, the symbols, the things you're telling me to see where this comes from, so I can help you redirect your thought pattern so you can go in a different direction. And I'm great at it. But I'm doing it in a healthy way where other people can manipulate you and put weird thoughts in your head. You know, they can say things that turn into thoughts. They're just impressions. You heard something and now you have a thought and you believe that thought. You swear to God by that thought. It was just something someone told you. It doesn't mean it's true. Somebody told you you couldn't do something. And you're like, I can't do it. I can't do that. I could never do that. I'm not allowed to do that. I can't do that. That's not what I do. You can break that. As I said that, I'm in the car. That's why I shared Muhammad Ali. Love you, bud. I'm in the car. I just got a job. I really need this job, bro. I need it. Desperation. I need this in my life. I need this to feel safe in my life. I need this money. I need this pride. I need this. I go the first day. I run into fucking Rachel, bro. Who's Rachel? It's like they took me there just to meet my past, bro. I run into Rachel, who ends up being a best friend of mine from my 20s that I used to party with. I don't even know her, but she's like, she can't wait to talk to me. Oh, you're my best friend, and I don't fucking know you. I know your name is Rachel. I know I hung out with you for like 4 years, and I'm not the same person, and I don't want nothing to do with you, and I don't even want to explain myself. And I've got all of this in there, and all this is really happening, and I'm sitting in the car. I'm getting ready to go to work, and Pac, Kobe, and Muhammad Ali are like, don't go. It's like, no, I need this, bro. I gotta go. They're like, don't go. Maybe she was going to be there. Maybe she was going to bring all those people, all of my friends from the past. I don't know. But I'm crying in the car. I'm like, I can't not go. I can't do a no-call, no-show after I just got a job that I needed so bad. I couldn't do it, dude. After so many years of working hard, it was just, I couldn't, it's a poor work ethic. I couldn't break my work ethic, which was my own rule. And I'm crying in the car about it. And I've got these 3 Holy Spirits trying to tell me, it's not that important. You're replaceable. Don't give them much power. It doesn't matter. Everything will be okay if you don't take this job. But it was just that hard. I cried. And there's many of these things where it's like, I don't think I can do this. I can't do this, is what my mind says. My mind's saying, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's not true. It was told to me. And I believe it, and I live by it. But then my spirit says, yes, you can. You can do this. You can do this. Come on, you can do this. You can do this. And I break my own fear. I go through that fear, and I realize it wasn't true. I could have done anything. But when it happens, you're like, no, because it's your own rule, and it's just something someone told you. You can do it. You might not be the best at it. And that's that Nemo thing. My daughter is extremely adventurous, bro. I'm seeing her right now when she hurt herself, actually. The fucking tire swing. We're at a lake. We're at the creek we're in the Colorado River out in Arizona, and she sees this fucking tire rope, this rope swing that all these adults are swinging on. She's fucking 12, bro. I'm like, oh God, you can't do this. Don't do this. She did fall and scratch herself and hurt herself, but me telling her she can't do anything is me not believing. So I didn't tell her she couldn't. Now there's some things you just like, no, you don't want to do. You don't ever tell them they can't. Tell them why they shouldn't, and hope to God they won't. But don't tell them you can't. And this goes back to yesterday's video. That's what I put in there so nobody forgot it. Don't tell them they can't. Ask how you can help them. How can I, you know what I mean? It's like they see that they can do things, and we don't think they can do things. But they can. Joan of Arc, bro, was a single fucking teenage girl that was driven by God, the voice in God, to go stop this war. A man's war. 100-year war that no country could stop. No man could stop. She stopped. That child lives in my house. I can't really tell her what she can and can't do when I know what she's done in her past lives and what is possible. And we need that kind of warrior. And all our children. Don't tell them that. And that's what happened to us. They told us what we are and aren't. What we can and can't say. What we can and can't do. We need to break the rules and rewrite the rules, bro. Is that a good story? I gave you an hour with not one card. And that's the difference, is I don't need cards to teach. The cards are just confirmation of what I taught you. Now I'm going to show you this. I'm going to go back to the cards you didn't get earlier, because I don't really read these all that well. I did the Notoria. I'm going to skip. This is the card we got earlier that you didn't see in the Notoria. It was the Five of Swords, right? So this is where we are in the Tree of Life, and we've almost completed it. We've almost completed the Tree of Life, and we'll start all over with a better understanding of it, okay? But this is it. God who pleases all. When fluid and unseen forces such as emotional or creative ones are at play, this angel will rationally and methodically transform them into a third force. Okay? Now, what I want to say is like right here. Emotion and such as emotional or creative ones, right? Unseen forces. We take two forces and we create them into a third. As fire brings a cauldron full of water to a boil, converting it into a vapor that will rise to higher levels, IL will direct this ascent by favoring those changes that frighten us but are necessary, encouraging us to retain the higher characteristics belonging to our personality. That's your higher self. You're scared of change. You're scared of new things. You're scared of, you know what I mean? We're scared. We're scared of the unknown. But your higher self has done this before and will guide you. And you think you're doing this for the first time, but this is not your first rodeo. It's just your first time in this life. And that's the fun of a first kiss. I know I've kissed men before, but I have no memories of kissing a man. When I kiss a man this time, it'll be my first kiss that I'll know in this life. When I sleep with a man, it'll be my first time that I'll know of in this life. I know I've done it. I have proof. I've got 4 kids. I had to have kissed something. Kiss my ass goodbye is what I heard. I don't have the experience. The feeling comes with the experience. When you go to experience something new, you're scared. Do you guys remember a first kiss? Yeah. First sex? Was the first time you have sex with someone? The first time you eat something? I'm about to try something new that I haven't eaten before. I don't know what it's going to taste like. And that's it too. The kids tried something new. They're like, it's gross. What was it? It was a cheesecake ball. I don't want to. They said it's chewy. I was like, when it gets real chewy, I spit it out of my mouth. It's weird. It was some cheesecake ball. I was like, I don't know if I want to put that in my mouth. I'm real convincing. I'll be like, ooh, try this. This is super gross. You're going to love it. And you won't even hear the fact that I told you it was nasty. I was like, oh, bro, this is so nasty. Try this. It's the way I sell it. I told you it was nasty, and I made it sound really exciting about it. And you're like, all right, I'm going to try this nasty shit. Oh, dude, that shit was hella nasty. In the essence, like, if you're sitting like, no, I'm not trying that. But if I sit there with a smile telling you, you got to try this, bro, you got to try this. And then you're like, all right, I want to see what's the kick. If you see someone say, no, I don't want to try that. That doesn't look good. But when people are out here like, take a drink of this, you're like, I don't know, you look like you're kind of having fun. What's in your cup? Jonestown.
Bloody Mary. Straight vodka.
Vodka. That's not water. It's fucking vodka, man. That's what. that was so great. Thank you for that memory. Have you guys seen Up in Smoke, Cheech and Chong? They all get arrested and he's dying, bro. He's like, I just need something to drink. And he runs up to the fucking judge. He takes a drink of their cup of water. He spits it out. It's fucking vodka, man. And it's a judge and shit. Everybody's laughing. I needed that. That was good. I just want to point out she's all about that life. Alright, even those blocked by mistakes, prejudice, doctrines, or inability to express our feelings to loved ones. Oh, wait, what? Alright, Ariel will direct the ascent by favoring those changes that frighten us but are necessary, encouraging us to retain the higher characteristics belonging to our personality, even those by mistakes, prejudice, doctrines, and an inability to express our feelings to loved ones. Alright, so it was about the Five of Swords. The planet is Jupiter, and we're already pretty much there. Jupiter runs Thursday. Now, this is what you missed here, dude. Patterns. I've been telling you forever that I'm right here, right? This is Jupiter. This is where we're pretty much entering because I already felt it. You can tell by my attitude. That's Thursday. Right? That's the day, that's where the energy is, right? I told you forever that I'm up here. Have you guys seen, I just shared it, I'll share it again, the sigil of Lilith? This is part of it. I'm at home. I'm part of the thrones. I just want to remind you of that. Just wanted to kind of throw that out. Now, where's Jupiter? Well, here's the great part. This particular one has a map of it. Can't find them in everywhere. So the Chesed is with the dominions. Right now we were just with the angels, the Yesod. I stay up in the Banah, which is the thrones. I'm moving after I've learned everything that I need to learn from Metatron. I'll move over to the cherubim. And I'll be back. That's home again too. Lilith and the cherubim. That's home. I'm working my way back home. How? Thoughts and feelings. Experiences. God just keeps replaying my past lives here and I overcome them. So right now, what am I doing? I'm dealing with Hades. So what do I need to learn that I didn't learn? I don't know. I just gotta fucking stare at him long enough. I'll figure this shit out. Just let him live his life and I'll figure it out what that has to do with my past life. And then I can overcome that and move on. It's really what it is, bro. Just, Mission Impossible around here. Anyways, it did say Five of Cups, so this is where I can take this information for those of you that are not moving through the tarot. This is like the furthest level of tarot there is, and so don't expect you to know it, and we're learning it very, very slowly. But we had the Five of Swords, and I'm going to bring that out in here. All fives in the fucking, I learned, all fives in the fucking tarot kind of suck. It's the halfway point. It's like, this really sucks. Oh, lovely. Is that really where we are? Told you. We're in a place of defeat. Do you feel defeated? I don't know. Perhaps. I don't think that's where we were. Is that really where we were, bro? Did it say Five of Swords? I mean, it's not like any of the other ones are better. Let me see. It sure the fuck is. Shut the front door on page 27. The key word of Five of Swords is defeat and it heralds disappointment or loss. This is a card about consequence. You may have been arrogantly, selfishly pursuing your own desires, and even if you think you've won, the victory has been a hollow one. Is winning worth it at any cost? Pick your battles carefully and consider the effort on others. Alternatively, this can be a card about consequence of violence and the idea that might is right. Hey, bro, what are you guys doing? It can suggest that someone has bullied or injured you. This could be a boss, partner, parent, or even stranger. If this is the case, you need to find your inner strength and stop giving away Oh, wow. Giving away your power to this person. I saw something here. All right, brace yourself, men. I just did a whole teaching about energy. Are you working through feminine energy and getting bullied by a masculine woman? I'm not saying a masculine woman. She's probably beautiful. But is she working through the masculine energy and you're being abused? Men don't want to, for the same reason I didn't want to admit that I was in domestic violence. And especially when you look at this punk. You look at him and you're like, my brothers and sisters couldn't believe it. They know I would smash a motherfucker. Grown-ass men in the streets of Tijuana. They knew I could handle mine. But when I told them, when I had to put the shame on and tell them that this fucking 20-year-old piece of skinny, scrawny, 100 fucking pound nothing was beating the living shit out of me, they could not, would not fucking accept it. I didn't want to tell anybody that I'd given somebody that type of power to do such things to me. I hid it at all costs, but people knew what was going on. How come you didn't fight back? Love, bro. Love. And that's, as I say this, I'm saying this to my men. There are bully ass bitches, and I know this because when I was younger, I would fucking loke up with Devani. If you fucking raise your voice, I'm gonna swing at you. We would go down, and then I just stopped fighting for myself. I just gave up the fight. And in the essence, you're told you can't hit a bitch, so you just let her completely demasculize you in front of her friends, her family, your children, anywhere. I've seen them, bro. We've seen them. It doesn't make you a pussy to be passive and not want to fucking, you know what I mean, choke this hoe. It means that you're trying to be the better person, but there's nothing good about this. It is easy. Domestic violence is not limited to a particular gender. It's just that men don't want to be as weak. You know, women don't want to admit it either, but we just have to. But men don't want to admit it, bro. That they let some woman run their fucking life and destroy their fucking life. And she literally would put hands on you and destroy your fucking shit. I used to tear up my baby daddy's shit. I would tear up all his brand new shit. Every time, dude, I'd take it and cut it up. I'd break all his shit, bro. Everything I could find. I was that crazy bitch. The first baby daddy, you put drugs on it, bro? Yup. I did that, dude. I would take all his brand new clothes. I'd cut them and throw them out in the fucking garbage. I'd fucking break all his music. I'd fucking fucking cut up his fucking Nikes. All that shit, dude. I know what it means to be that crazy broad, totally fucking destroying some man's life. I have compassion for you. And that's where it is. It's like they couldn't believe that somebody, and that's what my brother used to say, you just need some big ass burly dude to hold you down. Like, what do you mean by hold me down? Well, he sees me running around with this fruitcake over here that's totally should just be in a pair of tights and a tutu. He used to say it all the time. He's so fruity. Imagine, you know what I mean? That's what it is. So you go back to Bobby. Why do you like Bobby? He's very passive. He's quiet. He's a pussy. You don't try to push nothing on me. He has no control. But then you see where this could go really bad. And I showed you with someone like fucking Wolfman and Aries, or like, you know what I mean, Marshall. We could go really bad at this. If we put our fire to our fire, we're going to burn this whole motherfucker down. You're dealing with the whole masculine energy right here. I'm gonna put my hands with my words. Really? Could be. I could. A bitch could. In the essence, it's like, don't make me snap your neck. Domestic violence is, you know, the roles can be reversed. And I'm saying this because I have 2,300 men that are probably all of you are in bad relationships because we don't know what a good relationship is yet. Right? Codependency, all the different things is this is an ego death. This is going to hurt your pride to come out and say that, you know, you had a Respucia bullying you at home. But it's not, I can promise you, and that's what I said, we already know it. You can already see who wears the pants in relationships, bro. You just need to accept the fact that you need to put your pants back on. Not that you need to overpower this chick, but that nobody should be overpowering you. Men don't tell men about. I mean, I guess men know when they have a bully woman and they got to come bail them out all the time. No, she's gonna kick my ass. No, she's crazy. No, 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 I can't do that. My girl's crazy and this and that. I've seen some videos, bro. There's this couple that keeps popping up on my Facebook and shit, and his girl be catching him, like, just be riding him. She's got cameras in the bedroom and shit, just trying to fucking catch his ass doing something so she could go crazy on his ass. You better just release his ass, bro. If you gotta live with cameras and watching him all the time and shit. Oh my god, Becky, is that Eminem? Are you stalking me again? Just kidding, I love you. That's that obsessive, possessive type energy. Hey, be careful with that. That's what I got in here. You could be getting bullied by your bitch, bro, and you know it. And you don't want to be a bitch because she's, you know, you love her. But the truth is the bitch doesn't love you. She's bullying the shit out of you. She's taking your kindness for weakness, bro. And that's what happened. How did the roles reverse? Because I became kinder. And it became a weakness. I could have fucking fucked that guy up, bro. I think about it now all the time. The last thought I had about him was ripping him out of the drive-thru window and totally curb checking that bitch, bro. I was gonna put his head right on the curb and check the shit out of that motherfucker, bro. Seriously? Oh yeah, American me style. Don't look at me, little puppet. I'm gonna shove something so far up your ass. Is this what you wanted to do with your life? Don't get me started. I feel it, but no. And no, and let's move on. This could be a boss, a partner, a parent, or even a stranger. Don't let nobody fucking do you dirty, dude. If this is the case, you need to find your inner strength and stop giving away your power to this person. Even if you never see them again, dwelling on the incident and permitting it to shape you casts you into a role of victim and allows them to win. You know, that's what my ex-husband plays. He plays victim to this bullshit all the motherfucking time. He acts like, oh, she's keeping my kids away from me, and she's a bad woman, and she's all this, and she's a bitch, and I don't know if he calls me a witch. You better put some respect on my ass. Anyways, whatever he said, it doesn't matter. You didn't want nothing to do with us, and you left us, and now you act like we did something wrong. Victim ass, bitch ass, bend over. My homies want some. They want you more than we do. If this card appears in the future position, it comes with a warning to take precaution. We're still in the swords, bro. You gotta be careful. I mean, seriously, that's why God said don't go outside. You're gonna run off on the mouth and fucking cut somebody or yourself. It's gonna be blood everywhere. Alright, reverse. You are wallowing in a feeling of disappointment after a setback. You are blaming everyone around you, but the only person defeating you is you. Swallow your pride, reach out to the person that you've argued with, and try to be resolved with negotiation. You know, yesterday at the lake, I was like, ugh, Bobby's in my intuition. I don't know. Either he's thinking about me or maybe an inner part of me is thinking about him. In essence, what the fuck are we gonna... you want me to forget what? Am I supposed to apologize for something? My feelings? I feel like I do this all the time with you bitches. See? I'm totally a dude. It's like, you want me to apologize because you pissed me off? You want me to apologize for figuring you out? You want me to apologize for repeating what you said to me? You didn't want nobody to hear that you talked to me in such a way? What do you want me to apologize for, bro? When are you going to apologize? Any of you. I'm always like, oh, I'm sorry I called you gay, Ellie. Sorry, Ellie. Every time I got to come back and apologize for the same thing because you're still hurt about that. You're hurt that everything about your life said that you and I called you gay because I don't have a gaydar. And you were looking like you were on the other side of this whole thing, the way you were jocking the shit out of Russ. And you're still mad at me for misjudgment? Did I misjudge you? Or did I have every reason to suspect this? And that goes back to you, Mike Stud, on the Stud Ranch. I still have yet to see you kiss a woman. Sorry. Fuck me. I could easily say the same thing about Marshall after all these years if I wanted to. Say he's just projecting. He ain't never touched no pussy in 25, 35, 45 years. I'm just saying. I'm tired of apologizing for my feelings, bro. I'm not going to apologize for my feelings, bro. I'm not going to tell you you made me feel this way, but I'm going to say this is how I felt based on what I experienced. You had nothing to do with it, and your words don't help. Who am I supposed to apologize to now? Fucking what? I'm supposed to apologize to Wolfman for pointing out he's balding? You think he doesn't know it? I'm just asking. You know what I said to him? It's a comic flick. His chip. Did the drapes match the curtains? That's a total dude move. That's what it's funny until you're the dude on the other side, and then it's not so funny. I think it's funny. Lewis Hamilton, sexy ass Lewis Hamilton, was pretty bald at like 23. You can go back and watch his videos of when he drove for McLaren. That dude was basically bald. He found a cure to cancer. I'm the first bald guy. I dated pelons, so I get why you're shaving your head. I was just asking. And that just goes back to, if you're trying to keep up, then keep up. If you're trying to keep up an image, then you gotta keep up the image. Your mask is falling right there. I can see behind the curtain. Marshall, are you laughing? Oh, God. There's nobody more creative than me, huh? You thought you were so much creative, didn't you? You thought you were so clever, huh, Marshall? I am so fun. What are you going to do without me? You could not. Life was boring without me. All right, let's move on. You need to reach out to the people you argued and try to find a solution. Quarrels may be resolved with negotiations. That's what I told him as soon as I talked to him. I was like, God wants me to negotiate, and I don't feel like negotiating with you. I said, he pointed out that I'm very rigid with you, but I don't feel like I want to negotiate with you. I started the whole conversation with that boy like that. He's like, God said I need to negotiate with you. There's nothing to negotiate. You couldn't stand up, bro. You played this whole game that you wanted to fuck. I was like, all right, let's fuck. And then you just disappeared. This is exactly what you've done in all of time. That's such a weak-ass pattern. Every other guy wants to fuck too. At least they'll actually show up and probably not make me pay for it. Oh. Welcome to Thirsty Thursday. It's not, but it probably is. It could be close to midnight. Anyways, what the fuck were we talking about? Acceptance, breaking down paradigms, changing points of view, and working through your thoughts and shit. And we still didn't talk about Carl Jung. Damn it, Carl. Do you know who Carl is? It's funny. It's from Jimmy Neutron. There was Carl. I'm over here. Think. And there's Carl. You have to watch the show. It's funny. It really is him. Really? If I had a picture, I could prove it. Where are we at? The shadow. Page 179. It's turned down. I don't know for what. It's always the question, right? The dream shows us that the shadow can consist of many different elements. For instance, the unconscious ambition, the successful portly man, and the introversion, the Frenchman. The particular dreamer's association to the French, moreover, was that they knew how to handle love affairs very well. Ooh, I want a French lover. I want a French fry. French smoke cigarettes. That's better than I could say about you Americans over here vaping and shit. Breathing in the fumes is what I heard. Therefore, the two shadow figures... Can I just point out that Marshall was married to a woman that smokes cigarettes and he don't? He might not like that anymore. Did she brush her teeth? Did she smell like an ashtray? I heard. Heard Forrest Gump. I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She smelled like an ashtray. Are you stable? Only sometimes. Therefore, the two shadow figures also represent two well-known drives, power and sex. Sounds like where we're supposed to be. That's it. We got to quit being so powerful about sex. Lilith. It's the strongest power I have. The power drive appears momentarily in double form, both as an official and as a successful man. The official, or the civic servant, personifies collective adaptation, where... I'm still not eating your ass. That's some gay shit. Trying to pull my myself out of that conversation. I don't care how much you like it. I'm done. I can't read. I can't hold my head up. It is so unreal. You have sex dolls. You guys do the weirdest things. The weirdest things in this reality. That was all that fornication they were talking about in the Bible. Adam ran around fucking every animal in the garden. What the fuck are y'all doing? I'm gonna die. Please, God. I'm gonna die. Sorry, this is a part of this world I don't want to be part of. I don't even know why. You're not convincing me. I don't want nothing. I'm leaving the room if you ever do some shit like this. Alright. The official or civil servant personifies collective adaptation, whereas the successful man denotes ambition. But naturally, both serve the power drive. When the dreamer succeeds in stopping this dangerous inner force, the Frenchman is suddenly no longer hostile. Oh, they're hostile. In other words, the equal dangerous aspect of the sex drive has also surrendered. That's pretty much what happened to me. I surrendered. To what? My sex drive. Why? Because I hit a wall. I tried to start the car up and I hit a wall. Called my cervix is what they said. These dirty jokes are going to get real bad in about a minute. Let's stop before then. Obviously, the problem of the shadow plays a great role in the political conflicts. If the man who had this dream had not been sensible about his shadow problem, he could easily have identified the desperate Frenchman with the dangerous communists of outer life, or the official plus the prosperous man with the grasping capitalist. In this way, he would have avoided seeing that he had within him such warring elements. And that's what I was having. This is very interesting. We talked about that. Because I was having warring elements between the priestess and the prostitute. That's a good one, God. Jeez, they make some jokes, dude. They be laughing. Yeah, I'm either... I'm a holy prostitute. I'm gonna dress up as a pregnant nun for the fucking Thanksgiving. For Halloween. I did that before when I was like 19. Let's redo that one. Good joke, never dies. Alright, let's move on. Oh, there's a lot of pictures. Hey, hi Hitler. What are you doing? I was like, oh, it's Hitler. Damn it. Alright. If people serve their own conscious tendencies in other people, this is called the projection. Political agitation in the countries is full of such projections, such as much as the backyard gossip of little groups and individuals. Projections of all kinds obscure our view of our fellow man, spoiling its objectivity, and thus spoiling all possibilities of genuine human relationships. What does it say? For over 5 years, this man had been chasing around your madman in search of something he could set on fire. Unfortunately, he again and again finds, hirelings who open the gates of their country to this international incest, and I don't know. Rather than face our defects as revealed by the shadow, we project them onto others. For instance, to our political enemies. Left, a poster made for a parade in communist China shows America evil serpent. Really? Oh yeah, I see it. Bearing Nazi swastikas killed by a Chinese hand. Above, Hitler during a speech. The quotations of the description in his description of Churchill. for your visual representations. The Chinese thought we were evil. I'm pretty sure that he did too. And we sit here like, dude, you were evil. Do you guys forgive them? I can never forgive him what he did to our ancestors. Okay, what did we do to them? You want to own what part of history? Only the good parts. What about your family that were running fucking slave trains and now you're in a biracial fucking relationship and you love your, you know what I mean? Does your baby daddy know that your grandfather fucking literally beat his fucking, you know, his grandma so that you guys could live prosperous? You guys want to build, you want to hold on to these fake fucking things, you know what I mean? Like, Rex wants to hold on to being Sicilian, but he denies the other parts of him. It's 4 parts. It takes 4 quarters to make $1. And that's it. You want to say that you're all American, but none of you are. And by that, it's like, you know, that goes back to 4th of July and shit. Well, what country did your ancestors come from, and that you're so proud of the persecution that you now persecute those very people? You might be wearing a skin color. That's what I was thinking about. It came to me. I shit you not. This came to me earlier. I would make beautiful biracial babies. I'd make beautiful black babies. I don't have any black babies. I really don't. I have Native American babies and I have Latin babies. I'd make beautiful babies. How light would they be? Probably not that light. They do have beautiful hair too. I'm just saying that. Is the cultural mixing. But you are not allowed to do that back in your countries. You had to come to a place of America to be free. But now look at, we have no freedoms. They've taken away all our freedoms. You can't be free in America anymore. Why? Because the Americans will persecute you. It's not our government. Our government makes rules for all of them to be free. The home of the free, the land of the brave. You have to be motherfucking brave to try to be free in this motherfucker. And it used to be that way. Not anymore. There's no acceptance. You decide who can come in our walls, who's worthy of sitting at your table, who gets what money, and all of this. Based on what? Gender, race, religion, sex? Come on. What the fuck happened to our country, bro? That's why everybody came from all the other countries, because we were the best country. We offered opportunity. There's no opportunity. Our own Americans were dying out here. And then they opened the door to show other people how we suck. Look it. Come to America, dude. We're all homeless. We're all across the streets. They're not taking care of their people, bro. We're supposed to be better than Canada. We're supposed to be better than Europe. We're supposed to be better than China. They take care of their people. They take care of their streets. They take care of fucking things. We don't take care of shit. Chinese aren't over there picking fights with every other Chinese person. Every fucking Asian person. Like the Latins do. The Mexicans can't stand the Puerto Ricans or the fucking, you know what I mean? The Dominicans or the fucking Cubans or the Argentinians or the Chileans, and they all don't like each other, and fuck the Italians. You're all Latin, motherfucker. What the fuck you talking about? The fuck are you talking about? And that goes back to the Roman Catholics. I'm an Irish Catholic and I'm a this Catholic. Do you not praise Jesus? Oh, but you're not Christian. You're Christ-like, right? Oh, but I'm Catholic. What the fuck does that mean? How come I have all these books that study Christ, but nobody's Christ-like? What the fuck? At 123, fucking 13. I'm out of here. Judgment is upon us. And that's what it is. We've already been judged. It's already happened. Now comes the consequence. Welcome. Change it, bro. Be a better person than the people that came before us. For the people that'll come after us. We can't be doing this anymore. We can't do this to our people. The people around the world. Around the world, those people are here in our own country. And we don't even show them respect. And then you go to their countries and disrespect them. Just so you can get a picture to make yourself look good in your own fucking hometown. Come on, guys. That's that Kanye with a little bit of Lilith. A little bit of dark, a little bit of light. Hey, I love you guys. Catch you tomorrow. Laters, haters. Hey, won't you take it easy, Nana? On a thirsty Thursday.